62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And even if you're beyond that, you can still feel broke. You still feel trapped. No matter what you do, you just can't get ahead. You can't get breathing room. You're always stressed about your money. And the thing is, it's not an accident that everybody feels this way. A lot of times it is because the way the world is set up, especially here in America, literally everything is designed to keep you broke. Companies spend billions of dollars to try to figure out how to get a couple more dollars out of millions of people, how to make you spend more money. Everything from your phone, the apps on your phone, to the checkout line at Target, everything is designed to get you to spend as much money as humanly possible. But here's the thing, I know that you can get out of it. I know because I have seen so many people, myself included, with no like real skills. They're not smarter, they don't work harder than other people. They just know things that society doesn't really want you to know, that schools definitely didn't teach you, that the government doesn't teach you. Because of that, they are able to break out of this cycle. But here's the thing I feel like nobody really talks about is that a lot of escaping this kind of like matrix or whatever you want to call it of being trapped, working at a job you probably don't love, hardly being able to pay the bills, stressed out that, you know, if a $1,000 emergency comes up, 56% of Americans would have to go into debt in order to cover that. And yet the average American spends over $1,000 per month on non-essentials. And I feel like looking back for me, the thing that brought me out of that cycle, that took me from cleaning office buildings to having financial freedom in my 20s, was not like some crazy thing. It was like fixing my head, fixing my mind. And I know that sounds like cheesy or like fake, because I always used to think it was like, oh, you gotta work on your mindset and somehow that'll make you have more money. It sounds kind of crazy, but looking back, it was because of my mindset that I got out of it, and it was because of other people's mindset that they are stuck into it. And this has like nothing to do with manifesting or anything like that. Like I don't really believe in that, but it has a lot to do with how you think about yourself, and then also kind of fighting against the system and consumerism. So like this world is set up to make you buy things. But if you wanna be truly wealthy, what you need to do is to be able to look at a jacket, be able to look at a watch, at a nice car, at a painting, see it and say, that is beautiful. I don't need it. I don't want it. I am able to appreciate this thing without always wanting everything. When you want things, when you constantly are looking, you're caught in this trap of trying to validate yourself, trying to gain self-worth, get a little dopamine hit, try to like make yourself feel better through buying things, and you think that that next thing will make you a little happier, it'll distract you, whatever, then you will never feel like you have enough. And until you feel like you have enough, it doesn't matter how much money you earn, you're always gonna spend whatever money that you earn. You're gonna buy that thing, you're gonna buy more and more and more things, and you're always going to be broke until you feel like you have enough, till you feel like you are enough. But I know for me, growing up, I didn't have enough. We went to the food pantry. I started working, cleaning office buildings when we were like 11, just to kind of like keep things afloat for my dad's business. I didn't have a lot of stuff. Most of my clothes were like 75% off or thrift stores or whatever. And I always just felt like if I could buy stuff, I could be cool. People would recognize me. It would give me like some self-worth or something like that. And I was just spending money as quick as I got it because I finally had money to spend. I feel like that's a trap a lot of people get in, is like just looking for that validation. And one of the things that really broke me out of that cycle that I was stuck in for a long time, that I wasted thousands of dollars in throughout all of my teen years, was really shifting this mindset to valuing myself. And weirdly enough, that meant like going to the gym. Did you know that less than 1% of men over 35 have abs? Like it's like 0.04% or something crazy like that. And yet like 1.5% of adults are millionaires. So it's literally like harder to have abs than it is to be a millionaire. Now, like stay with me here. I feel like if you build a person that you are proud of, you become a person that you're proud of, that you're like, I'm okay with my kids ends up like me. I'm not there yet, I'm on that journey. But like if you build that person that like, I have a physique that I am proud of, I have a mindset that I'm proud of, I built knowledge by reading that I am proud of, and I wouldn't trade it for other stuff. You start to feel that you don't need validation, you don't need stuff in order to make you happy. You just need to continue to grow, to chase a goal. And a lot of how I stopped spending a lot of money and actually ended up earning more money was through valuing myself more. I stopped needing anything in order to be happy. I haven't bought a new shirt in like 3 or 4 years. Like I bought some shirts that all fit. I got them sent to me actually, part of being a YouTuber, it's great. But I just realized that like I don't need any other shirts, so I never buy them. I never think about buying them. I never think about buying shoes. I never think about buying pretty much anything because I know it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It will not make me happy. I've been there, I've done that. I'm telling you, it won't make you happy. But one of the things that does really add a lot of value to my life and I have a lot of fun with is chasing a goal. And if you can shift from needing stuff to feel good to chasing things that add value to your life to feel good, that's where you can start not only spending less money, but also earning more money. Since I am confident in myself, I don't care if people think that I'm weird. I don't care if I don't have the newest phone. I don't care if I have an old car. I don't care about what other people think about me. And therefore, I no longer try to keep up with other people. And that's a lot of freedom. And one of the ways I built that confidence was through habits, was by working on myself for a long time. It was going to the gym for the last 10 years. It was reading books every day for the past like 5 years. It's been building things that I say that I'm gonna do and then I do them. And that has built a lot of confidence in me. And I think for a lot of people, building something of their own and saying like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing and then doing it is kind of the first step to getting out of this broke mindset. Even just doing push-ups, going to the gym, getting in shape. If you're in shape and you're confident in yourself, you feel good, you have energy, you sleep good, just by doing that, a lot of times you can break out of a lot of consumerism because you are confident in yourself. For other people, it might be starting a business or a personal brand, something online. And that's where you can actually use the sponsor of today's video, GoDaddy Aero. They can help you grow and launch an online presence in just a couple of minutes, a couple of clicks, instead of taking like a week to get started. Honestly, they are very, very simple and easy to use. So like I have a couple of different projects that I've been working on and I was able to just type in the name of what my project is, buy the domain with them. It's super simple. But then it created a website for me using AI without me having to know anything about what the heck's going on. Everything's very simple, even for somebody like me who's not super tech savvy. I also was able to make a blog post in like a couple minutes on there, even schedule social media posts. There's like a lot of options. If you're thinking of starting something online and you're just stressed out because you gotta get your website here and your domain over there and then your store here and you're posting on social media over here and you're writing blogs, like you can just simplify that, put it all in one spot that is super simple to use. I literally went from not having a website or anything to having a live one with everything synced up and being able to do all the posts and everything in like 5 minutes. It was crazy. Again, if you want to check them out, there's a link down in the description or you can hit the QR code right here. And thank you again to GoDaddy Aero for sponsoring this part of this video. Another real reason why I used to feel like I was trapped in this cycle of being broke is because I felt like I would never really make progress, right? I feel like there wasn't a clear path for me to follow to escape. And I was just stuck in this cycle of trying really hard and not seeing any progress for all the effort that I was putting in. I was working, I had another part-time job, I'm just trying really hard, and yet my money is just not really growing all that much. We got inflation kicking in, things are expensive. Then my car, would have like the transmission would go, just weird stuff like that would always happen. And I feel like I'm just kind of stuck in this cycle. And one thing that really helped me get out of that was clarity. It was seeing that like I didn't believe that I could get out of this until I started educating myself. I started to learn and meet people who had gotten out of this trap. And then I realized that like, hey, I think I can escape this. I think if I make some changes in my life and chase something that is a clear goal, I have clear direction. And that's kind of what happened. I met people who had followed the exact same path to financial freedom. And I started to kind of copy what they were doing. And I took all of this energy, all of this focus, and I shoved it all towards one thing. And for me, that's been a huge help, is just taking all of this anger, all of this self-doubt, all of this feeling of lack and insecurities and channeling that towards building a future for myself and my family. I never really thought like that was possible. I always kind of like read different books and I would see people who had like reached financial freedom and it just didn't seem real, and kind of till I kind of got to this point where I met a few people in person and then I was like, wait a minute, these are just normal people. They're like you and me. And if they can do this, what do I have to do to get to that point? Because I just kind of was like looking for permission to be able to dream. I'd given up on a lot of my dreams. I'd kind of accepted the fact that I was never going to enjoy what I did for a living. I accepted the fact that I'd never have money. I would never have a Tesla, something I was able to get last year when we hit 500,000 subscribers. I'd accepted the fact that I'd never go to Europe or travel or do whatever. And now looking back, I've been able to travel throughout a lot of the world and just have some really amazing experiences. A lot of the reason for that is because I gave myself permission to shoot for something which was unreasonable, to shoot for some goals that didn't seem possible. But the thing is, you are probably 3 to, I would say, 7 years away from having your absolute dream life. If your dream is to travel the world and get paid to do it, in 7 years, I can almost guarantee you that you could do that if you put in like an unreasonable amount of work and effort and channeled your whole life into doing that. I can strongly say that it's possible. If you want to get in shape and be like that 1% of people who have abs, you can absolutely do that in like 3, 5, 7 years. It's so possible. But here's the thing, 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. It's mostly everybody. Even the people above that, they still don't have much money. Most people are overweight. Most people are not happy. Most people are stressed out. Most people feel trapped in this cycle. So if you want to get out of it, you got to be crazy. You got to be like nuts. You got to think to yourself like, am I the crazy person here? Why doesn't everybody else doing what I'm doing? Like, I'm the nutball in this situation. And that's how I feel throughout most of my life. I have this unreasonable belief in myself that like, if I want to reach financial freedom, I can do that. If I want to do this, start this business, I could totally do that. If I want to become a professional singer, something I've thought about recently, I can't even sing. I was like, I think I could do that. That's crazy, right? I'm nuts. But if you want to live differently than everybody else, if you never want to stress about money again, you can't do what everybody else is doing. What is everybody doing? They're watching 3 hours of TV a day. They're scrolling on their phones 2 hours a day. They're impulse buying off of Instagram nonstop. They're not believing in themselves. They have this scarcity mindset where they are scared of not having, they're scared of missing out. So they buy things so that they have things around them. They don't believe that they can actually start a successful business, start a successful YouTube channel. And since they don't believe they can do it after like 3 videos, they quit. I've seen so many people, it's so frustrating to me. I can't guarantee you, but I can pretty much guarantee that they would have had successful YouTube careers. And like they've joined some of the cohorts that I've run where I've helped people get started. They've made like 5, 10, 15 videos. They're getting thousands of views. They're making progress, and then they have a few that don't do good, and then they stop posting. And they just don't believe that they're gonna be the person who makes it. I'm like, if you had just stuck with this for like another year, or 2 years, or 3 years, or 5 years, you would have been there. You would have had the dream life, and you quit too early. And that's what most people do with any business that they start, is they're like, I don't believe that I can do this. So they put in a little bit of effort, or they never actually start. You cannot be a failed YouTuber. You can't embarrass yourself. You can't be a failed writer or whatever if you never write a book. You can't be a failure, right? You also can't be a winner. This fear that you're never gonna make it, this lack of clarity that you don't know what your next step should be, if you can't get past those mental hurdles, you will always look for instant gratification. You will always play it safe. You will never be successful in one of your side ventures because you don't believe that you can be, and therefore you'll quit to make sure that you prove yourself right, because that's what you've always told yourself. You're gonna make sure that you're not lying to yourself. So you're just gonna make sure that you self-sabotage, you procrastinate, you make sure that the website's perfect, you make sure that you have all these different things that are perfect, and you never actually make the step to put yourself out there, because that's when you can fail. Like, I am so sure that I have found at least a path. There's a billion paths to financial freedom in, under 10 years, but I'm so sure that I've found a path because I've done it, my brother's done it, my teammate Natasha's done it, like 5 other people have done it just in like the past year, and it's all through pretty similar steps. And this is just like one of the paths that you can take you to financial freedom. And this is something that I'm really passionate about right now, and really trying to get more people out of this place of feeling stuck, because I've been there and it sucks. Like, when you wake up and you love Mondays like I do right now, you love what you do, you feel like you make an impact, versus when you just feel stuck and drowning and trapped and like nothing you can do is working. Like, the amount of relief and hope, excitement is just not comparable. And once you get to the other side of the bridge, you can't imagine being back where you were, and you just want to help more people cross the bridge and say like, hey, you can do this. This is possible. If you just believe in yourself, you take action for a long period of time towards almost any goal, you can hit that goal. If you diet and exercise every day for 10 years, it would literally be stupid to think that you could not be in shape. And yet, if you do a couple things to chase financial freedom every day for 10 years, it would be stupid to think that you're not drastically different than almost everybody else that you have ever known. It's literally insane not to think that. And I just feel like right now, kind of like my purpose in life is to stand on the other side of the bridge and say, like, you can make it. Trust in yourself. Just keep taking baby steps forward. Here, follow this path and you can, kind of get there. I think encouragement and community are some of the main things that can really help people get there. So I've been really trying to put together a community. You can join the wait list down below where I'm gonna try to help as many people cross the bridge as I can through there. We'll have like live calls with me and like free courses in there and a lot of stuff like that, and seeing other people on the same path. I've been trying to think of like what is the tool that can get people to freedom, and I think this can be one of them. So if you do want to check it out, I'm not sure if it'll be launched by the time we do this, but there will be a wait list down below. But if not, I really do believe that you can reach freedom if you stick to a single path for a long period of time, and you actually believe that you can do it, so that you don't give up, you don't get discouraged, you don't switch paths 27 times. That's gonna guarantee that you're never gonna have success and you're always gonna stay broke. So you gotta pick one thing, stick with it, and I hope to see you on the other side. Really, I'm excited about this community. Go ahead, join it. It'll be fun.